Hi, this is Michael London of the Branson Update magazine. It is Sunday, November 22nd, and we're going to look and see what's on Explorebranson.com today. Here's the header loading, and we do have Christmas. For some reason, the things to do headers stays down in place invisibly and blocks the top of this page, but that may be an individual browser problem. We're going to go to Christmas and find events. We'll go to the Branson Christmas Shows page, which again has the basketball looking Christmas Day, and keeping in mind that Silver Dollar City has the Harlem Globetrotters. That sort of has a whole Harlem Globetrotter feel to me. But nonetheless, we are going to go to the Branson Christmas Shows page, where now, as a result of Michael London and Branson Update sending photos in to get the photos onto this site, we do now have the photography available of the Andy Williams Christmas show. And so that's no longer a blank hole. We still have, of course, the Christmas on the Trails at the Shepherd of the Hills, and they have a Christmas description, and we'll call that Christmas attire for those cowboys. We will then go to, on the Christmas Shows page, Dixie Stampede, and we don't even go to Dixie Stampede's page. Let's try that again. Make sure we weren't interfered with by that drop-down menu being out of kilter. We'll move Dixie Stampede further down, and we will go to Dixie Stampede's page. Yes, we get to Dixie Stampede, but again, no description of the Christmas show here in the text. That photo, hard to tell whether it's a Christmas photo, although there is red in it. It's with black, and that's not a traditional Christmas combination. And the second photo that they have linked is definitely their regular season performance and not the Christmas show. That plus the text not having any Christmas in it, we're going to have to assume that this has not been dressed up for Christmas yet, despite its being on the Branson Christmas Shows page. Now we continue on, and then almost, let's see, there's this much text area for the first 3 entries, and then the same amount of space for one entry, which is Silver Dollar City. And we'll go to the Silver Dollar City link from the Branson Christmas Shows page, and we will have a description that does not mention Christmas until the very end. This is selling their park throughout the entire season, and all of the photography is about regular season activities, with none of the photography here about Christmas. So, again, we're on the Branson Christmas Shows page. That's a Silver Dollar City Silver Dollar City staged show, and that's a Silver Dollar City reference in the fact that they're the only ones with basketball players featured. But we get to the bottom of the page, and as usual, it has the beginning, the 1st of November. Many Christmas shows begin their performances. For a complete list of Christmas shows, click here, and we will go to the It's Most Wonderful Time of Year page with this extremely dark Christmas tree that barely looks lit, if at all. We'll go down, and we can't get to that Christmas events page, but if our header would allow us, of course, before we got to anything else, we would be lured into going to Christmas events, which takes us here to fall and to drive-through lights and to amazing experiences presumably you can have throughout the year. If you knew to toggle down further, however, you would get to the event listings and the event filters, which now has holiday events and a Christmas listing. However, it doesn't appear in this group, but obviously there's some sub-selection of Christmas allowed now in events. There's no Christmas shows here. It's all about the landing, the lights, special events during this period of time, Christmas at an attraction, the Titanic, Christmas at the lake, a one-day event of some type at a theater, an old-time Christmas at Silver Dollar City, and we know where that's going to take us. And you'll notice all these other photos are not Christmas photos. Presumably those are because they're not paid yet links to those sites or something on this website that's been created with tax dollars to represent Christmas. And then of course you have Christmas at the Chateau, which obviously must have paid for their link. And we'll go backwards now, recalling that we started out looking for Branson Christmas shows, and we found this page, and now we have live shows. We'll visit our live shows page, and we're taken to the Beatles photo again with featuring the long hair psychedelic era of the Beatles. We'll go down to shows this week because we know that that's where, if there's Christmas shows this week, they must be featured. We basically get the same type of a page with a non-Christmas show on it, but if we're clever enough, we know to toggle down, and what we find is no Christmas opportunity to select for, as well as no Christmas shows being featured on that first page. So there you have it. We've gone down that upward way to check out from the Branson Christmas shows for a complete list of Branson Christmas shows. We can see that we cannot find one. Curiously enough, the next section under live shows has the Christmas lights, and Silver Dollar City is listed as the first place to look. And of course, we have Silver Dollar City's Christmas lights on display with a full description. Yet the Shepherd of the Hills Trail of Lights on the same page has not only no photos, but no description at all. And of course, the next section is all about Silver Dollar City, where we will find the Silver Dollar City Christmas pages. So, there you have it. The rest is about shopping and special events. Definitely not looking for Christmas shows there. Let's go all the way to the bottom of the page and see what kind of, Branson Christmas shows. Let's go there. And here we are at the Branson Christmas shows page, which, as we've seen other times, until just 2 days ago, there were no photos in the Andy Williams Christmas show. Those were provided by Branson Update to the Osmonds, who then forwarded them to the CVB. The photos have been placed very promptly. So we now have a Christmas show on the top. We go to the Christmas Trail of Lights. I believe we've done this page already today, haven't we? Yes. So no point in detailing that any further because we know where it leads us, to no Christmas shows. Well, there's savings. That'll obviously be about how to shop during the period of time, and here's a story about Immersed in Christmas story at Sight and Sound. And it's being written by somebody who never had a chance to see a show, but let's take a look. And it talks about Sight and Sound at Christmas, but actually this year at Sight and Sound, I believe there is not a Christmas show. I think this is only talking about the lobby. We'll have to double check that on their listing, because while they're talking about enjoying the miracle of Christmas, let's take a look. Maybe the Miracle of Christmas is playing. Experience up. This is going to a page that does not exist, where we're offered experience, we're offered the tenors at Christmas, Christmas on the Trail, Ozark. We do have some Christmas stuff here. We don't have anything related to that performance that was the one that drew us in to look at what was happening at Sight and Sound, and presumably this is going to take us to that Chuck Wagon Dinner show listing. Yes. So, we're going to track backwards again to that Sight and Sound listing, and we don't know whether that show is actually being performed right now. There's no live link to it. How would we find out? I think we can go to Things to Do, Live Shows. And go to Shows This Week. Nope, can't do it because of that header being out. We'll go to Shows This Week. And that shows this week. That's actually the show at Sight and Sound, even though it looks like a giant wooden chalice with people on the top. That's a ship of some sort, which would be presumably their Jonah performance, which means their Miracle of Christmas show page that's advertised at the bottom of the Christmas shows page would be irrelevant and to a certain degree misleading. And we're going to read more about the shows this week. We forgot we actually have to go down to find that out. There's show listings. Now, you can't find Christmas this way, and you can't find Sight and Sound. And over here we have paid links. That's what these little yellow flags are, so they get to come to the top. We don't see anything about the Miracle of Christmas show on this main page. But it does give us the opportunity to go by letter. The name of the show is Miracle of Christmas. We'll go to the M's. And Miracle of Christmas is not listed. So we're going to presume that the Miracle of Christmas is not being performed at this time. But there's an ad for Sight and Sound at the bottom of the Branson Christmas show page. Where is it where we found this? Let's take a look. This was at the bottom of, yes, it's the most wonderful time of year, taking us to information to a show that's not being performed. The other was shopping, and we know that this takes us right back to it's the most wonderful time of year, which will loop us into, it takes us to the Branson Christmas shows, which will then run us through these 3 shows and offer us a complete list, which doesn't exist. Because we know on that page you can't find it. So we're going to go back and check that other shopping list just out of curiosity. Since we've checked these 2, let's see where shopping takes us. And the Christmas shopping page takes us to Saving Brings Smiles in Branson. And it talks about it being the live music capital of the world, hotels, Welk, Tanger, Billy Gale's Stonehill Winery. There's nothing really about Christmas time here. So even though it was a Christmas picture, it's just a generic page. Although it does feature some of the, it features Tanger outlets, Stonehill Winery, the attractions of Titanic, and Branson Landing Fountain Spectacular. Since it is a shopping page, it's interesting to note that really the only shopping outlet here is Tanger. You could, of course, shop in the gift shop at Titanic, but that wouldn't be where you'd go for generic shopping. You could go winery tasting and buy some wine, but none of the rest of it is featuring Christmas show shopping, which you would think would be what would be featured on a link at the Savings Brings Smile to Branson. Actually, so that's not so much about Christmas. The other 2 were. Well, of course, if we go under the things to do and we go to live shows, we're sure to find the Liverpool Legends photo. And it looks like the 5 must things to do is not linked today to any of the ways to approach the site through the first header. We'll take a quick refresh of the headers to see whether or not something else were to show up about Christmas shows or could lead us in. And we have a different header, so let's just take a look where this one takes us. And it takes us directly to this page. We know where that goes. Nowhere to Branson Christmas shows. We'll try a new header. I should see if we can get a different header. Of course, these come up randomly across the country, but since I've been looking for Christmas, this computer may have cookies that'll take us. No, there's the Another header that's live today, and of course this is the Silver Dollar City page, and that does take us to the 5 Christmas must-dos. Interestingly, if we had the first header that we saw today, we wouldn't have got there. Now that, as a reminder, is a Silver Dollar City featured photo. And of the 5 Ozark Mountain Christmas must-dos, we continue to have the, obviously, number 1 being the Old Time Christmas out at Silver Dollar City with the full complement of photography for their parade and tree. We have the full year Silver Dollar City, and we can find out about everything else that happens there during the course of the year, even though this is on the 5 must-do things of Christmas. And then on the 5 must-do pages, should we toggle down, we will find number 2, which has the lights tours and still no Christmas lights photography for the Ozark Mountain Light Village. And let's see if we have it for the Gift of Lights. No, we still go to a page. And for our 3rd lights, we'll go to the Shepherd of the Hills. Well, we've been there before. We know that that takes us nowhere. So then we'll go to the most wonderful time of year parade, the 3rd most important thing to do in Ozark Mountain Christmas, according to this website, but that occurred on Saturday, November 14th. It's no longer relevant really to anybody who would want to go today, since it's the 22nd of November. We continue to find at number 4 on the must-do list, Christmas shows has no link, and continues to have this awkward, actually grammatically incorrect sentence which says, for many years, Branson shows create A productions to showcase the cheer and goodwill of the Christmas season. So that word A should not be there. We don't have any links any further. We do have a Silver Dollar City photo and a Branson Landing photo. Interestingly enough, this certainly looks like a more celebratory photo to be used than the header photo that currently appears under the Most Wonderful Time of Year page today. At least the lights are truly lit up and the top of the star is lit. So there you have it. That was the 3rd header in, I believe. We've been to these shopping, and we've been to this Christmas story at Sight and Sound that doesn't exist. And we'll go back. I think we've seen all the headers that are available. We'll quickly check and make sure that there's not another header or a way in that'll pop up for us when we go to Explorebranson.com. Have we seen this one today? I forget. Let's take a quick look. Find events with Christmas. And we go to the Branson Christmas Shows page, and we know where that takes us in terms of Christmas shows. Just the 3 that are featured, one of which doesn't have Christmas show information, the other of which didn't have photos until November 20th at the prompting of Branson Update magazine. So, we're back to a header page. Let's quickly try and see whether we'll find another header on the way in. Well, we've seen that one. Yeah, we've seen that one. Quite frankly, one of the reasons we're looking is because yesterday they had one come up that had swimming. But I'm afraid I'm probably cookied out, and they know I'm looking for Christmas, so every time that I try to open the site, I'll be getting a Christmas hanger. Oh, surprisingly enough, here we are. All right, there's a ride, and the people on that ride are wearing shorts, so this must be summertime, and you'll never guess where that ride is. It's at Silver Dollar City. So here in St. Louis today, we can find information randomly, presumably, and it's Branson, a smile-worthy family destination, which I agree with. It'd be interesting to know whether or not this page comes up earlier or randomly today in St. Louis from another computer. We have the live music show Capital of the World, hundreds of talented performers and variety of on stage, and we're going to go, I'll bet you a quarter, we're going to go to the Liverpool Legends Beatles page. We do nothing about Christmas there, but of course this is not a Christmas header that we've found, so there's no reason to believe that there would be. But here we are, while the talented professionals or performers of the stage shows did get nice coverage there, Silver Dollar City is number 2 on this page. And we get other non-Christmas stuff happening. So let's give it one more try. Let's see what comes up if we open it. There's a Christmas page. There's a Christmas page. So it's wonderful that we now have Christmas pages uniformly across the top of the site, or mostly. Let's take a look at the map, by the way. Here's how the map appears when you open the site, and if you want to use that map, you're allowed to go look at attractions or accommodations, not shows. And that must be what's showing now, and if you press accommodations, there you have it. And how in the world do you know what this is or how to use it? Find hotels and activities. No, simply... No, they've got a plus and minuses here, so if you go minus, it'll actually allow you to fade it back, but the tabs don't appear to go back as quickly as necessary, and so you end up with basically all of the tabs compiling on top of each other. Let's go the other direction. Eventually you'll get, this is about how the map appeared, and now we're getting into the detail, and eventually we'll get into the detail so tightly that we'll be able to see the icons for where to sleep. Oop, and closer and closer. Of course, we wouldn't necessarily know where this is in the full scheme of Branson. This is just a small cross section, and there you have it. How would you know from there how to get somewhere else? I guess you could go this way, and that's going to show you, of course, some designated restaurants there. And I'd say this is almost useless for, unless you knew the streets of Branson, how to, because there's no gridding system, and there doesn't appear to be any way to approach it other than to go to attractions, which now attractions show up, but no shows have indicators. That's all for today. That's the full site. Took us a while to go through it, but we appreciate your hanging with us. Michael London, Branson Update. November 22 days into Ozark Mountain Christmas. Still virtually impossible to find Christmas shows, with the 3 exceptions, only 2 of which are now fleshed out, only 1 of which was fleshed out anyway until 2 days ago. All right, thank you very much.